I commit myself to serve you all, King, country, and Commonwealth.
Prince William, one of the most respected figures in the British royal family, suddenly at the center of a controversy that could end his royal journey. Whispers around the palace corridors speak of family tension, secrets, and unexpected revelations. And shockingly, these rumors aren't just about William or Kate. They're about her sister, Pippa Middleton. Sources suggest that Pippa has come forward with information so astonishing, it's causing ripples throughout the entire royal household. What could have been uncovered that would place Prince William on the edge of exile from his royal duties? Could this revelation really have the power to shake the monarchy to its core? Let's uncover the details behind this bombshell that's throwing the future of the British throne into question. Prince William has captivated the world's attention as a royal with a unique blend of tradition and modernity. As the Prince of Wales, he stands not only as the heir apparent to the British throne, but also as a symbol of continuity for a monarchy facing unprecedented scrutiny and change. From his childhood, spent in the intense spotlight, to his role as a husband and father, William's journey has been one of adaptation, resilience, and a balancing act between duty and personal life. This story, however, is far from straightforward, as countless rumors and public debates circle around his life, his role in the family, and what his future might hold for the British monarchy. William's position as the eldest son of King Charles III and the late Princess Diana meant he was always destined for a life in the public eye. The world witnessed his early years alongside his mother, who famously reshaped the image of the royal family with her compassion and candor. Diana's tragic death left an indelible mark on William, shaping him into a figure known for his composure, thoughtfulness, and dedication to causes that mattered to her. It was through her legacy that William first connected with the public, an attachment that only grew stronger over the years. As he matured, his public engagements began to focus on issues close to his heart, such as mental health, wildlife conservation, and support for the armed forces. These priorities reflect a new kind of royal, one committed to addressing contemporary issues rather than merely upholding ceremonial traditions. With King Charles now on the throne, the focus on William has intensified as the public anticipates the next chapter for the monarchy. There is a prevailing expectation that William will usher in a new era when he becomes king, potentially modernizing the institution in ways his father and predecessors never fully embraced. His close connection to his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, deeply influenced his sense of duty and approach to royal responsibilities. Many see William as someone who combines his grandmother's commitment to service with his mother's sense of compassion, making him uniquely suited to lead a monarchy in transition. However, this unique position also brings intense scrutiny and speculation. Every gesture, decision, and public appearance is analyzed, contributing to the myriad rumors that surround him. The relationship between William and his younger brother, Prince Harry, has been one of the most discussed and debated aspects of his personal life. Once famously close, the brothers have, by all accounts, experienced a significant rift, particularly following Harry's decision to step back from royal duties and move to the United States with his wife, Meghan Markle. Their split has fueled countless stories and public fascination, with fans and the media dissecting every move to interpret where the brothers stand. While William has largely remained silent on the matter, his silence itself has led to speculation, with some seeing it as a sign of restraint and focus on his own responsibilities. Despite the strain, those close to William suggest that he remains deeply committed to his duties and the institution, often taking a measured approach that prioritizes the stability and future of the monarchy over personal grievances. William's marriage to Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, has further solidified his image as a stable and relatable figure. Together, they present a modern royal family that resonates with the British public. Kate's warmth and elegance have endeared her to many, and her ability to handle the intense media spotlight with poise complements William's more reserved demeanor. Over the years, their relationship has become a focal point for the monarchy, with many seeing them as a steadying influence during a time of immense change. Their public appearances, as well as their dedication to causes such as early childhood education, mental health, and the environment, have helped shape the narrative of a monarchy that is more connected to the people and the issues of today. As parents, William and Kate have made it a priority to give their children as normal a life as possible. a stark contrast to William's own highly publicized childhood. This approach reflects their desire to create a grounded environment for their children, preparing them for a future that will undoubtedly bring its own set of challenges and responsibilities. Rumors surrounding William's future as king often delve into whether he will continue the traditional model of monarchy or embrace more progressive reforms. Some royal experts believe William is prepared to modernize the institution, focusing on service over pageantry and reducing the overall footprint of the monarchy. His recent decisions and public statements have suggested a commitment to this streamlined approach. He has shown an interest in making the royal family more accessible, engaging in initiatives that address pressing social issues while fostering a deeper connection with the public. This modern approach may reflect the changing attitudes within British society, where support for the monarchy remains strong but is increasingly contingent on the institution's ability to remain relevant. William is acutely aware of this sentiment, and his actions seem to align with a vision of a monarchy that is more connected to the lives of everyday people. Public perception of William has largely been positive, especially in comparison to other members of the royal family who have faced criticism and controversy. He is viewed as a steady and reliable figure, qualities that are particularly valued as the monarchy faces complex questions about its role and relevance. Polls consistently show that he and Kate are among the most popular royals, a testament to their ability to navigate their roles with respect for tradition while still embracing change. William's calm and composed nature, combined with his dedication to his duties, has helped solidify his image as the future of the British monarchy. However, there is also a recognition that the monarchy must adapt to survive, and many believe William will be the one to lead that adaptation. The influence of William's grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, is evident in his approach to public service. Her unwavering commitment to duty, even in the face of personal and public challenges, left a lasting impression on him. William has often spoken about the lessons he learned from her and how her example shaped his understanding of his role. As he prepares for his future as king, these lessons will likely guide his decisions, particularly as he faces the pressures of maintaining the monarchy in an era marked by rapid change and shifting public attitudes. William's deep respect for the Queen's legacy suggests that he will honor her approach while also incorporating his own values and perspectives, creating a monarchy that respects tradition but is not afraid to evolve. The rumors surrounding William's plans for the monarchy hint at a reign that may be less ceremonial and more focused on tangible contributions to society. His interest in mental health, environmental protection, and social issues underscores his desire to use his platform for meaningful impact. This emphasis on service over ceremony resonates with a public increasingly skeptical of the monarchy's more opulent aspects. William's future reign could bring about a more accessible monarchy, one that reflects the values and concerns of the British people in a way that is both respectful of tradition and responsive to change. Such a direction would be in line with his own values, as well as those of a younger generation that demands transparency, authenticity, and relevance from its institutions. As William looks toward the future, the weight of expectation is immense, but so is his commitment to the role he was born to play. His life has been one of preparation, shaped by moments of intense joy, public scrutiny, and personal hardship. Through it all, he has demonstrated a resilience that will be essential for a reign that is likely to face unique challenges. His popularity, dedication to service, and understanding of the monarchy's role in modern society suggest that he is well equipped to lead. While rumors and speculation will undoubtedly continue, it is William's actions and decisions that will ultimately define his legacy. His journey is not only a reflection of his own character, but a testament to the enduring adaptability of the British monarchy, an institution that has withstood centuries of change by evolving with the times. In the end, Prince William's story is more than just one of royal duty. It is a narrative of growth, resilience, and a deep commitment to service. His future as king holds the promise of a monarchy that can honor its past while forging a path forward. William's legacy will likely be one that resonates not only within the walls of Buckingham Palace, but across a nation that, despite its challenges, still finds meaning in the continuity and tradition that he represents. As he navigates the complexities of his role, William's journey offers a vision of a monarchy that, while rooted in tradition, is unafraid to embrace change. In an ever-evolving world, This balance of old and new may be the key to the monarchy's enduring relevance, with William at its helm. For centuries, the British monarchy has stood as a pillar of continuity, heritage, and a sense of collective identity. Its traditions have been woven into the fabric of the nation, offering a reminder of time-honored ceremonies, elaborate protocols, and the enduring institution of royalty. Yet, every so often, an event arises that shakes the venerable pillars of this royal edifice, leaving both public observers and royal insiders in a state of collective astonishment. In one such extraordinary turn of events, King Charles has chosen to step away from his royal title. This decision, seemingly born of a convergence of private convictions and public pressures, has ignited heated debates and intense curiosity across the globe. How did King Charles arrive at this watershed moment? What dynamics led him to relinquish the station he once seemed destined to uphold? And what does the future hold for a monarchy that has been forced to confront the realities of modern life in a way it rarely has? The first reactions to King Charles's decision were, predictably, a cocktail of disbelief and fervor. Royal watchers, the media, and the public at large struggled to reconcile the image of Charles as the face of established ceremony with a new vision of him stepping away from a role that has defined him for so many years. Some wondered if his choice was motivated by personal longing, a desire to forge a life unencumbered by ceremonial trappings, while others speculated that this step was part of a broader realignment within the monarchy itself, signaling that even the grandest institutions are not immune to the imperatives of changing times. All at once, questions flooded every corner of public discourse. Was this an attempt on King Charles's part to modernize the monarchy from within, or was it evidence of private struggles made public? Could it be a bid to protect his own mental or emotional well-being, or a response to the friction created by competing visions within the royal family? These layers of speculation did little to quell the public's thirst for clarity. Official statements were spare in detail, providing enough information to confirm the essential facts, but leaving ample space for rumors to flourish. Royal correspondents swarmed to glean any hint of hidden motives, turning an already complicated situation into a maze of theories, counter-theories, and endless commentary. For the British monarchy, an institution built on continuity and respect for established protocols, such widespread public questioning was unsettling, to say the least. Monarchs are typically paragons of steadiness, their decisions reflecting slow and deliberate changes rather than abrupt shifts. But King Charles's choice felt strikingly different. Indeed, the monarchy had seldom seen a development so abrupt since the era of the abdication crisis in the early 20th century. What lay behind this monumental decision? To answer that question, one has to consider the remarkable path King Charles traveled before this moment. Born into a life of inherited responsibilities, Charles spent much of his existence knowing he stood in the direct line of succession, bound to the future role of reigning over the country. From his earliest days, the weight of public expectation hovered, guiding his education, shaping his experiences, and dictating the trajectory of his personal life. Though he had passions, environmental causes, organic farming, charitable ventures, those pursuits were often cast in the light of his impending destiny as monarch. When he finally ascended to the throne, it felt like the culmination of everything his life had prepared him for. Yet, as with all human stories, the linear path from heir to sovereign was accompanied by complications. Critics sometimes labeled him overly traditional, while paradoxically, some contended he was too outspoken on modern topics such as architecture or climate change. The public's perception swung between viewing him as a figure well-equipped to guide a venerable institution into the contemporary era, or an out-of-touch royal uncertain of how to connect with an increasingly diverse and skeptical public. His personal relationships became fodder for endless tabloid speculation, adding an extra burden to the already colossal responsibilities that come with wearing a crown. Against this backdrop, King Charles's recent decision to relinquish his title seems less abrupt than it might appear on the surface. He had long walked a tightrope between honoring ancient customs and wrestling with the need to adapt the monarchy to modern values. Perhaps the tension of that balancing act eventually pushed him to make an extraordinary choice, to carve out a role not entirely dictated by protocol, but by personal conviction and an evolving sense of responsibility. For outsiders, the significance of losing the kingly title is immense. Traditionally, a monarch's position is sacrosanct, conferred at the coronation and regarded as a lifetime station. That Charles would choose to renounce or step aside from it, even in part, raised urgent questions about how the monarchy would recalibrate, how it could maintain its aura of continuity and stability once its central figure decided to leave that role behind. Public reaction to King Charles's move illuminated a growing divide in how people view royalty in the 21st century. Some segments of the public, particularly those with a deep attachment to ceremonial monarchy, viewed his decision as a betrayal of ancient customs. They argued that monarchy by nature is a lifetime commitment, an unspoken contract that links the sovereign to the people. Others, however, saw in Charles a figure of modern leadership courage, someone willing to admit that old forms must give way if the institution is to endure. To them, letting go of the burdens of kingship signaled adaptability rather than abandonment, suggesting that the monarchy might yet shift its focus away from pageantry and toward more tangible forms of service and connection with contemporary society. In many respects, the monarchy found itself at a crossroads, confronted by a stark existential question. Could an institution that has thrived for centuries on ceremonial continuity reshape itself substantially enough to remain relevant, especially when its reigning figure has stepped away from the formal symbols of kingship? The monarchy is historically resistant to dramatic change, preferring incremental evolution over radical transformation. However, King Charles's decision thrust it into uncharted territory. Royal advisors and family members scrambled to manage the fallout, balancing a desire to respect Charles's personal autonomy with the need to preserve the monarchy's unifying function. Everyone recognized that the significance of Charles's choice would reverberate far beyond palace walls. The emotional dimensions of Charles's action were no less compelling. For decades, he bore the title of Prince of Wales, then ascended to become king, a station that placed him at the summit of royal responsibility. The public often glimpsed the formalities, his participation in solemn ceremonies, his speeches addressing national causes, his presence at key events. Few, however, witnessed the personal toll of such constant scrutiny. The monarchy thrives on visibility. Every gesture, every word, every choice of attire can become a talking point. For a man of introspective bent, who once showed genuine fervor for quiet pursuits like reading philosophy or planting trees, the day-to-day demands of monarchy were draining on both emotional and intellectual levels. Stepping back might have been an attempt to reclaim a piece of his own identity, an identity that had remained subsumed by ceremony for much of his life. Observers also note that King Charles's choice may have been deeply influenced by the example of others within the family and beyond. Modern royals like William and Catherine have already shown a flair for embracing new forms of outreach, social media, and more casual public encounters, arguably broadening the monarchy's appeal. Might Charles have felt overshadowed by the ease with which the younger generation navigates the digital age, or possibly inspired by the notion that monarchy can be flexible? Moreover, one can't discount the impact of global conversations about mental health, personal fulfillment, and the challenges posed by relentless public gaze. Charles might have wanted to set a precedent, that it's permissible even for royalty to choose personal well-being over unyielding tradition. Speculations aside, the immediate ripple effects were profound. First and foremost, the monarchy's protocols had to be re-examined. If Charles is no longer king in the formal sense, who stands at the helm of the institution? Is the heir presumptive automatically installed, or does a caretaker figure step in, pending formalities? The line of succession is ordinarily a rigid sequence, but Charles's voluntary relinquishment tested that rigidity. Was his departure final or partial, and what does it mean for the global network of Commonwealth realms that once recognized him as their sovereign? These details needed to be clarified promptly to forestall any constitutional vacuum or public confusion. Then there was the challenge of reorganizing official duties. Ceremonial functions, such as the state opening of Parliament, trooping the color, and the distribution of honors, typically center on the reigning monarch. If King Charles was retreating from the front and relinquishing the symbolic scepter, who would assume these duties? Would the monarchy parcel out responsibilities among multiple senior members, or designate a single figure to represent the crown? Each possibility carried its own consequences for power dynamics within the family. Some family members might welcome the chance to have a more prominent role, while others might feel overwhelmed by the additional obligations. one cannot overlook the emotional and political ramifications for those nearest and dearest to Charles. Figures like Queen Camilla, often seen as his staunchest ally, faced the delicate task of supporting his personal decision, while also honoring the monarchy's collective needs. Rose Hanbury's name has long held a special resonance in British aristocratic circles, her life seemingly woven from threads of tradition, legacy, and a hint of quiet rebellion. Born into a respected noble family, she grew up surrounded by elegant homes, genteel gatherings, and an ingrained sense of duty that shaped her formative years. Even as a child, she was known for her thoughtful demeanor and a reserved charm that set her apart in a social sphere where confidence and affability are prized qualities. From a young age, Rose was taught the customs of aristocratic life: when to curtsy, what topics to discuss at the table, how to project grace and warmth without seeming contrived. Yet, beneath those carefully polished manners, she harbored private dreams that extended beyond the gilded confines of Britain's upper crust. Rose was blindsided by the sudden surge in gossip. She had never angled for the spotlight. Indeed, she had spent most of her life avoiding it, preferring the safety of a measured, dignified presence that placed her neither at the center of attention nor so distant that she became a subject of exclusion. To find herself cast as a focal point of tabloid speculation was jarring. At first, she attempted to ignore the murmurs. She believed that by refusing to dignify unsubstantiated rumors with a response, she could starve the story of oxygen. Yet the media's appetite seemed insatiable. Headlines speculated on her every move. If she stood too close to Prince William at a function, it fueled new whispers. If she avoided certain events altogether, tabloids read that as evidence she was hiding from controversy. Friends and advisors advised her on how to handle the situation. Some encouraged her to give a definitive statement denying all wrongdoing, while others insisted that silence was golden in the face of baseless innuendo. Rose struggled with the choice. She valued her privacy deeply, but also felt a moral impetus to defend herself, not just for her own reputation, but for the sake of her family and the people who had always supported her. Each day that passed without a formal statement only seemed to fuel the rumor mill. At the same time, every new rumor or tabloid headline left her feeling more invaded, as if her personal life, so carefully guarded, was being stripped bare for public entertainment. The stress took a toll on her well-being. She found it difficult to sleep, constantly anticipating the next wave of sensational headlines. Her daily routines, once simple and fulfilling, became tinged with apprehension. Even small outings, such as stepping out for tea or running an errand, could be photographed and then dissected. A life of quiet luxury and understated responsibilities mutated into a never-ending battle against a narrative she never signed up for. Adding to the pressure was the knowledge that her association with the royal family magnified every rumor, every small event, into an international news item. The monarchy, bound by centuries of precedent and the tradition of silent dignity, was unlikely to intervene publicly on her behalf, leaving her to navigate the minefield mostly on her own. Moreover, the rumors cast an unwelcome spotlight on her friendship with Kate, a bond that she had valued for its genuine warmth and mutual respect. Now, that friendship was pulled into the tabloid's swirl of speculation. Magazines fueled notions of rivalry, betrayal, or tension. In that environment, even an innocuous moment, like being seated at the same table during a charity fundraiser, could be twisted into an entire narrative about forced interactions or veiled hostility. Rose's relationship with Kate was suddenly tabloid fodder, dissected by outsiders who had never witnessed their genuine rapport behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Prince William faced his own share of public scrutiny, yet the monarchy's time-honored strategy of silence prevailed. Those who empathized with Rose acknowledged the impossibility of her position. How do you fight an amorphous cloud of rumors without unwittingly giving them more substance? How do you retain your dignity when every attempt to set the record straight can be misconstrued as proof of guilt? At times, Rose considered issuing a firm denial through official channels. Yet she also feared that stepping forward to battle the tabloids directly would entrench her even further in the public eye, a place she never wanted to be. she made a series of measured choices designed to minimize attention. Invitations to glamorous events went unanswered. She reduced her presence on social platforms, restricting any glimpses the world might have of her day-to-day life. With each retreat, the tabloids pounced, interpreting her withdrawal as evidence she was avoiding Kate or being exiled by the royals. In truth, her decision to step back was more about self-preservation than anything else. She sought refuge among her closest circles. Yet the scandal refused to burn itself out. The story had all the elements the public relished: a supposed love triangle, a glamorous aristocrat, the future king and queen, and an official silence that left imaginative spaces for rumors to flourish. In some corners of social media, she was vilified. In others, she was defended as a victim of tabloid cruelty. Her life's narrative had splintered into countless versions, each retold by people who had never met her. Behind closed doors, she grappled with anxiety and a deep sense of frustration at how swiftly an unsubstantiated rumor could overshadow her years of dignified discretion. Eventually, the emotional strain reached such an intensity that she realized something had to change. She could not continue living as the unwitting protagonist in a public drama that showed no sign of ending. After much deliberation, she decided to take a decisive step: a formal announcement that she would step away from public life. The statement came through a single, carefully worded communication to a well-regarded British paper that had historically treated her with at least a modicum of fairness. She explained that she valued her privacy, that the speculation had taken a personal toll, and that she intended to focus on her family and personal pursuits away from the Klieg lights of paparazzi and endless gossip. The media reception was immediate and intense, as expected. Some outlets interpreted her announcement as tantamount to an admission that she had something to hide. Others claimed she was being bullied out of her rightful social circles by an unrelenting rumor mill. More sympathetic voices framed her departure as a courageous act of self-defense, a measured refusal to let public scrutiny consume her life. Rose, now resolute in her choice, refused to be drawn into further commentary. For her, stepping away was not about winning an argument or feeding a controversy. It was about preserving her well-being and reasserting a control she felt had been snatched from her. Over the following months, she began the practical work of retreating from the public arena. She scaled back her participation in aristocratic events, politely declining invitations that would have placed her in the direct line of tabloid attention. She also shifted her philanthropic energies towards smaller charities and organizations where she could contribute more discreetly. Instead of hosting lavish fundraisers or making high-profile appearances, she worked quietly in the background, offering her time and financial support without any fanfare. Her circle of close friends grew tighter, focused on those who had demonstrated unwavering loyalty and respect for her privacy. There were whispers, of course, that this departure could be temporary, that in time she might re-emerge. But Rose herself felt a profound relief in stepping off that public stage. Where once her days had been governed by social calendars and insidious rumors, she now woke to simpler rhythms: a morning walk, an afternoon spent reading or practicing photography, evenings dedicated to meaningful conversation with family and longtime confidants. Freed from the need to second-guess how each move might be perceived, she discovered a sense of peace that had long eluded her. Naturally, the tabloids were slow to let go. They spun stories about her reclusion, suggesting it was forced upon her by royal decree, or that she was harboring bitterness over alleged slights. But as time passed, and she consistently refused to re-engage, the appetite for new material about her dwindled. Other controversies arose to occupy the front pages, and the ceaseless churn of celebrity news found fresh subjects. Gradually, Rose's name became less frequent in the columns. Whenever it did surface, it was little more than a footnote, an echo of a once sensational storyline that people had largely moved on from. Meanwhile, within the royal family, the fallout took a subtler form. Kate carried on with her duties, sometimes facing questions about Rose that she politely sidestepped. Prince William, adhering to protocol, remained silent. In official settings, neither mention nor hint of the rumors was ever made. Palace aides presumably noted that the silent strategy seemed effective, and from the monarchy's perspective, the entire ordeal was best left to fade from collective memory. While no public statement was ever issued on behalf of the royals to clarify the true nature of Rose's connection to them, their unwavering silence was itself a statement that they did not deem the rumor worth acknowledging. Behind the scenes, there were quiet regrets. Kate was said to mourn the carefree closeness she had once shared with Rose, a friendship tested and strained by the swirl of unwanted attention. Those who knew the two women personally understood that whatever tensions had arisen, the root cause was never real enmity, but rather the media's compulsion to pit them against each other. But high-profile lives leave little room for clarifications, especially when clarifications might only perpetuate the gossip cycle. Thus, both women moved forward, carving separate paths in a world that had often thrust them together in ways they never orchestrated.
Royal Princess Anne. She has opened up the room and opened up her schedule to do something she rarely does.
Just minutes ago, Princess Anne stunned the world with a heartfelt and emotional farewell to Buckingham Palace. Her words left millions of royal watchers in shock as they realized that the royal family is not as invincible as they once thought. In a candid moment that broke royal protocol, Anne opened up about the impact the palace had on her life and how it shaped her journey. But what made this farewell so unexpected? Princess Anne, known for her stoic demeanor, revealed a side of herself that many thought didn't exist. It wasn't just a goodbye. It was a deep reflection on everything Buckingham Palace symbolized for her. Was this a final emotional release or a strategic move? Her words will change how you see the royal family forever. In her emotional goodbye, Princess Anne didn't just speak about her time at Buckingham Palace, but she revealed the silent, unseen struggles she faced while living under its roof. This wasn't the royal image everyone has come to know, perfect, polished, and untouched by pain. Anne's honesty about the weight of royal expectations, the pressure, and even her desire for personal freedom shocked the public. Was this the real Anne, or was she just tired of the expectations placed on her by the monarchy? She opened up about how, for years, the palace felt less like a home and more like a gilded cage. Her words suggested that perhaps it was time to move on, not just from the palace, but from the heavy burden of royal duty itself. As Anne spoke, there was a clear message for anyone listening. The royal family, despite its image of unity, is far from flawless. The emotions were raw, the reflections deep, and the words revealing. Princess Anne's farewell was not just about Buckingham Palace, it was about her own evolution as a member of the royal family. Her life, dictated by duty, was coming to a crossroads. Could this moment mark the beginning of a shift in how royals engage with the public and their duties? For the first time, Princess Anne was openly questioning the very system she's lived under for decades. What followed in her emotional speech left everyone questioning her future role within the royal family. Princess Anne didn't just say goodbye. She hinted at stepping back from the limelight. Was this a soft rebellion against the monarchy? Could the monarchy itself be headed for a major change, with Princess Anne leading the charge for a new era? Anne's words were not just a reflection, they were a potential warning to the royal family. Could this moment signal the beginning of the end for Buckingham Palace's hold over its most famous family? As the royal world processes this monumental announcement, one thing is clear. Princess Anne's emotional farewell has shaken the monarchy to its core. What do you think this means for the future of the royal family? Could this mark the beginning of a much-needed change, or is it simply the reflection of a tired royal under too much pressure? Stay tuned, because there's much more to come in this unfolding story. The secret behind Princess Anne's decision to leave Buckingham Palace will shock you. What made Princess Anne decide to bid farewell to Buckingham Palace? It wasn't just a desire for privacy or a simpler life. No, her decision goes much deeper. In her emotional farewell, Anne revealed an unexpected truth about her royal journey. For years, the public only saw a polished, strong princess, but behind the scenes, Anne's life was much more complicated. While the palace represents tradition, power, and duty, it also became a place of personal struggle. Her words about feeling trapped in the royal system resonated with many who believed she thrived in her role. But what made Anne truly decide to step away? For Anne, The constant spotlight and the pressure of royal duties became more than just a burden. It became a wall. She spoke candidly about her frustrations with the constraints of palace life. Unlike other royals who seemed to enjoy the luxury and glamour of their positions, Anne found herself seeking more than what Buckingham Palace could offer. But it wasn't just a case of wanting privacy or peace. Princess Anne was searching for something deeper. Her farewell was not just about leaving a building. It was about leaving behind an institution that, for decades, had dictated her life. The question remains, what does this mean for the future of the monarchy? Anne's personal reflections revealed a level of dissatisfaction that few expected. While many view her as the quintessential royal, always composed and duty-bound, Anne confessed that her journey through the royal family was far from ideal. She talked about the weight of tradition, and how, over time, it stifled her growth. It was as though she was constantly suffocated by the expectations of her title. Princess Anne's decision to leave Buckingham Palace wasn't just a personal choice. It was a bold statement against the very fabric of royal life. Is this a message to other royals who feel similarly constrained? Anne's exit might be the beginning of a royal awakening that could change everything. The media reaction has been explosive, with some seeing Anne's departure as a rebellion, while others speculate about her deeper motivations. Was Anne trying to reclaim her personal identity? Or was she sending a message about the pressures faced by all royals? Whatever the reason, Princess Anne's words have opened a Pandora's box of royal truths that the public wasn't ready for. Her farewell was far from a simple goodbye. It was a revelation of the struggles royals face when living under the heavy weight of tradition. Princess Anne's farewell has already sparked heated debates. Was she speaking for herself or for the future of the monarchy? As the royal family grapples with her decision, one thing is clear: Princess Anne's words will be felt for years to come. What do you think her true motives are? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more shocking updates. Inside Princess Anne's life at Buckingham Palace. The untold story. What's it really like inside Buckingham Palace? For Princess Anne, the experience was not always as glamorous as it seems. While the palace represents royal grandeur, for Anne, it was often a place of tension, loneliness, and frustration. In her recent emotional farewell, she offered a rare glimpse into her life behind the palace walls, shattering the illusion of royal perfection. What she revealed about her time there might surprise you, and it's not the fairy tale life that the world imagines. Anne's perspective provides a new understanding of what it means to live under the shadow of the monarchy, offering a candid look at the struggles that many royals face but seldom speak about. Anne didn't hold back in her reflections, revealing that the life of luxury associated with Buckingham Palace often came at the cost of personal freedom. The pressure of being a royal meant constantly living under the public's microscope, and Anne spoke about the personal toll this took. She explained how, despite being surrounded by wealth and privilege, there was always an emotional void. Anne's decision to leave the palace is a powerful statement about the complexities of royal life that go beyond public perception. It's easy to look at the grandeur of Buckingham Palace and imagine a life of ease, but Anne's experience was filled with sacrifices and struggles that few could understand. What Anne's farewell makes clear is that being a member of the royal family often means being trapped in a gilded cage. The expectations placed on royals to maintain a perfect image are immense, and for Anne, it became unbearable. She admitted that while the palace offered the finest things in life, it also demanded much more than she was willing to give. Her words shed light on the emotional toll of being royalty.
From Adelaide Cottage, which is the primary residence for the Princess of Wales, along with their 3 young children.
What's really behind the royal family's carefully crafted image? For decades, one of the most trusted individuals in Princess Diana's life has stayed silent about the secrets she knew, until now. Diana's nanny has finally broken her silence, offering a rare glimpse into the hidden struggles of the Princess of Wales, her marriage, and the true nature of her relationship with her sons. Prepare for an eye-opening revelation. Diana's nanny was more than just a caretaker. She was a witness to the most intimate and personal moments of the princess's life. She observed Diana's struggles with immense pressure, both from her royal duties and her troubled marriage with Prince Charles. As a close confidant, the nanny was privy to the emotional turmoil Diana faced daily. This insight, hidden for decades, provides an authentic portrayal of the human side of Princess Diana, far from the public's idealized image. The Nanny recalls how Diana, despite being adored worldwide, was often alone and vulnerable. Diana's role as a mother was her greatest priority, but her relationship with Charles was disintegrating before her eyes. While the public was captivated by the fairy tale marriage, behind the scenes, Diana's emotional state was deteriorating. The nanny, who was often the one to comfort the princess, witnessed Diana's deep sense of betrayal and loneliness. These emotions would become the foundation of her complex relationship with her children, especially as she strived to protect them from the chaos of her personal life. Despite her marital struggles, Diana remained fiercely dedicated to her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. The nanny shares how Diana broke royal protocol to ensure her children had as normal a life as possible, even though the pressures of their royal status were always looming. Diana's love and devotion to her sons were undeniable, and her nanny often observed how their bond remained strong, even in the face of public scrutiny and personal challenges. As Diana's confidant, the nanny also observed the complex dynamics within the royal family. Diana's relationships with her in-laws, particularly the Queen and Prince Charles, were far from ideal. The nanny's perspective sheds light on the pressures Diana faced as she navigated her royal life. From the emotional strain of her marriage to the weight of public expectations, the nanny's untold truths about Diana's motherhood. While Princess Diana's life was often scrutinized by the media, one aspect that was less discussed was her role as a mother. The nanny, who was by Diana's side throughout much of her parenting journey, shares a unique perspective on how Diana's personal struggles shaped her approach to motherhood. Unlike many royal mothers before her, Diana was determined to provide her children with as normal a life as possible, despite their royal status. She often bucked royal tradition in favor of showing affection, tenderness, and love toward her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. The nanny recalls how Diana made an active effort to shield her children from the pressures of being in the public eye, even taking them on private trips to places like theme parks and museums. Diana was especially protective of their innocence, striving to give them experiences outside the palace that allowed them to be just regular boys. The nanny mentions how Diana would often play with them, engaging in fun and playful activities that were far removed from the royal duties expected of them. It was in these moments that Diana truly shone as a mother, loving, playful, and completely invested in their happiness. However, the nanny also reveals the challenges Diana faced in balancing her public image with her role as a mother. The pressures of maintaining her princess persona were intense, and Diana often struggled to reconcile the expectations placed on her with her desire to be a hands-on, loving mother. The nanny recalls how Diana's genuine worry about her children's emotional well-being was always at the forefront of her mind, even when the media attention grew overwhelming. She was determined that her sons would never feel neglected or overshadowed by the royal machinery. This chapter further highlights the contrast between the public's view of Diana as a glamorous figure and the private struggles she faced behind closed doors. The nanny's account of Diana's mothering style offers an authentic portrayal of a woman who, despite her personal turmoil, placed her children at the center of her world. Diana's legacy as a mother remains just as powerful as her impact as a humanitarian, and her sons continue to carry her teachings with them as they navigate their own family lives today. The emotional battles. While Diana was the picture of grace on the outside, the nanny reveals a different side of the princess, one that struggled deeply with loneliness, mental health issues, and feelings of abandonment. Diana's battle with bulimia and depression was something she kept hidden from the public eye, but the nanny witnessed it firsthand. As a mother, Diana was determined to shield her children from her personal struggles, but the emotional toll was evident to those who knew her best. The nanny recalls how Diana's mental health struggles were exacerbated by the media frenzy surrounding her marriage. The constant invasion of her privacy took a significant toll, but it was the breakdown of her relationship with Prince Charles that left the deepest scars. Diana felt abandoned and isolated in her marriage, and the nanny believes that these feelings of emotional neglect led to Diana's internal battles. Despite all of this, her love for William and Harry remained unwavering. In a private moment shared with the nanny, Diana admitted how difficult it was to reconcile her public persona with her private pain. She had become a global icon, admired for her charity work and empathy, but behind closed doors, she often felt invisible and alone. These emotional struggles deeply affected her relationship with her children, though she did everything in her power to protect them from the fallout. The nanny, a silent observer of Diana's life, offers an honest and raw depiction of what Diana went through. Her insight into the emotional and psychological toll that public life took on the princess helps us understand the deep human vulnerabilities that made Diana so relatable, even to those who had never met her. Diana's struggles with the royal family. From the very beginning of her marriage to Prince Charles, Princess Diana was thrust into the rigid and unyielding structure of the royal family. The nanny recalls how Diana, though a strong-willed woman, often felt stifled by the royal institution. Her marriage to Charles in particular was strained from the outset, with differences in their personalities and interests creating a chasm between them. Diana's relationship with the Queen and the rest of the royal family was often fraught with tension. While Diana sought affection and emotional intimacy, Charles remained emotionally distant, caught up in his royal duties, and, as it would later be revealed, his affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. The nanny recounts how Diana was often left to fend for herself, trying to balance her royal duties with her emotional well-being. The sense of isolation she experienced within the royal family was one of the hardest challenges she faced. Despite these difficulties, Diana's love for her children remained constant. The nanny remembers how, even during the most trying times, Diana focused on ensuring that William and Harry felt loved and valued. She defied royal norms to give them experiences that were as normal as possible, even if it meant breaking royal protocol. Diana's ability to provide a safe space for her children in the midst of a turbulent royal life was one of the most significant aspects of her role as a mother. The nanny's perspective on Diana's struggles within the royal family provides a much-needed look into the tensions that existed behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace. Diana was not just a figurehead, she was a woman navigating personal and public battles, trying to make the best decisions for her family in the midst of immense pressure. Prince Harry. Speaking out. In recent years, Prince Harry has broken his silence about the impact of his mother's legacy on his own life. In his memoir Spare, Harry shares his personal struggles with grief, loss, and the lasting trauma of Diana's untimely death. Harry has often spoken about how he feels his mother's presence in his life, even decades after her passing. His journey of self-reflection and therapy is deeply rooted in the love and compassion Diana instilled in him and his brother, William. Harry's emotional openness has been a central theme in his public appearances, particularly as he navigates his own mental health challenges. The death of Diana left a profound hole in his life, and his ongoing struggles with grief have shaped much of his adult life. Harry often speaks of the comfort he finds in the charitable work he does in honor of his mother, particularly in the areas of mental health and veterans affairs. In his reflections, Harry also acknowledges how Diana's death affected his relationship with his brother, Prince William. The intense public pressure on their family, particularly after Diana's passing, created a rift between the two brothers, and Harry has openly expressed his frustration with how their differing approaches to royal life have caused tension. Yet, despite their differences, Harry continues to honor his mother's legacy through his advocacy, and by ensuring that her humanitarian work lives on. Harry's candidness about his grief and the lasting impact of his mother's death provides valuable insight into the emotional toll the loss took on him and how it continues to shape his personal and public life. His journey of healing and self-discovery is a testament to the enduring influence of Princess Diana, even decades after her passing. Prince William's quiet strength in Diana's legacy. Prince William, as the eldest son of Princess Diana, has often been more reserved about his emotions and his mother's legacy. However, his actions speak volumes about the profound influence Diana had on him. William's approach to fatherhood, his charitable work, and his role as a future monarch have all been shaped by the values Diana instilled in him. His commitment to mental health initiatives and environmental causes is a direct reflection of Diana's own philanthropic spirit. Despite the public's adoration for Diana, William had to navigate the complexities of his relationship with his mother, especially after her divorce from Prince Charles. William was old enough to witness the breakdown of his parents' marriage and felt the emotional strain of his mother's struggles. In the years following Diana's death, William has had to process his grief while stepping into a larger role within the royal family. In private, William has been deeply affected by the loss of his mother, but he often chooses to express his emotions through action rather than words. As a father, he is committed to raising his children in a way that honors Diana's legacy of compassion and love. His commitment to his children and his efforts to shield them from the media spotlight reflect the lessons he learned from his mother. William's role in continuing Diana's humanitarian efforts, especially through his work with mental health organizations, highlights the impact of her legacy on his life. He has ensured that Diana's compassion and advocacy for those in need live on through the work he does as a member of the royal family. Princess Diana's divorce. The breakdown of Princess Diana and Prince Charles's marriage was not just a public spectacle. It was a deeply personal struggle for both of them, especially for their sons, William and Harry. The nanny recalls the emotional toll the divorce took on Diana, who found herself caught between her royal duties and her role as a mother. The public's obsession with their marriage made it impossible for the family to find peace, and the emotional strain on the children was palpable. For William and Harry, the divorce marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. They were no longer a part of the united royal family they had known, and the separation forced them to navigate life between two homes, each with its own set of challenges. Diana, despite her own pain, remained committed to ensuring that her children felt loved and supported, but the emotional consequences of their parents' divorce would follow them for years to come. The nanny's perspective on the family's struggles during the divorce provides a unique insight into the challenges faced by William and Harry as they grew up in the public eye. Despite the personal pain they experienced, Diana remained a steady force in their lives, showing them the importance of love, resilience, and maintaining a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of royal life. The divorce ultimately shaped the trajectory of both William and Harry's lives. For William, it reinforced the importance of duty and stability, while Harry's struggles with the loss of his mother and the breakdown of his family led him on a path of emotional discovery and healing. Diana's humanitarian legacy. Princess Diana's commitment to humanitarian causes was one of the most defining aspects of her life. Throughout her marriage to Prince Charles and beyond, Diana devoted herself to numerous charitable causes, from AIDS awareness to homelessness. Her willingness to use her platform to raise awareness about global issues set her apart from other royals, and her efforts continue to inspire generations. Even after her death, Diana's legacy lives on through the work of her sons. William and Harry have both carried forward her commitment to charity and public service, with each taking on causes that align with their mother's passions. William has focused heavily on mental health, while Harry has continued to advocate for veterans and mental health, using his platform to ensure that the issues Diana cared about remain in the public consciousness. The nanny, who was often by Diana's side during her charity work, recalls how deeply committed Diana was to making a difference. She did not see her charitable efforts as a duty, but as a genuine desire to help those who were suffering. Diana's ability to connect with people from all walks of life, whether in the UK or abroad, made her one of the most beloved figures in the world. Diana's dedication to her humanitarian work continues to influence her sons, who both strive to honor her memory by working on issues that matter to her. Her legacy is one of compassion, kindness, and a desire to make the world a better place. The tragic death of Princess Diana. Princess Diana's untimely death in 1997 shocked the world and left an indelible mark on her family, particularly her sons. The nanny recalls the shock and grief that rippled through the royal family following Diana's death, and how it affected William and Harry. The loss of their mother at such a young age left both princes struggling with their emotions and grappling with the intense public scrutiny that followed. For Harry, the loss of Diana has been a source of deep pain and unresolved grief. In his memoir Spare, Harry opens up about his struggles with the death of his mother, describing the surrealness of the moment he learned of her passing. His emotional journey has been shaped by this loss, and his desire to keep his mother's memory alive has influenced much of his adult life. William, on the other hand, has approached his grief with more composure, focusing on his royal duties and public responsibilities. But the loss of Diana left a lasting mark on him as well, shaping his views on love, family, and duty. The nanny's perspective provides valuable insight into how Diana's death impacted her sons differently, with each of them processing their grief in their own way. Despite their differences, both William and Harry have used their personal pain as a catalyst for change, advocating for mental health awareness and charity work. Diana's legacy continues to shape their lives, and her influence remains a guiding force in their public and private endeavors. Moving forward, as Prince William and Prince Harry continue to navigate their roles within the royal family, the impact of Princess Diana's life and death remains a significant part of their journey. Both brothers have faced challenges, but their mother's teachings have guided them through the toughest moments. Diana's influence on their humanitarian efforts, their commitment to family, and their shared love for their children demonstrates that her legacy is alive and well. The nanny's insights into the royal family's personal struggles offer a unique perspective on how Diana's life and death shaped the future of the British monarchy. Through her eyes, we see a family united by love, despite the personal turmoil and public scrutiny they faced. As the years go on, the memory of Princess Diana continues to inspire not just her sons, but also the world that loved her. As Prince William and Harry continue to forge their own paths, they are reminded every day of the lessons Diana taught them. Whether through their charity work, their public personas, or their private relationships, Diana's spirit lives on in the hearts of her sons and in the hearts of millions around the world. The Nanny's revelations provide an unparalleled look into the private life of one of the world's most beloved figures. Through her eyes, we understand the emotional toll of Diana's life and the legacy she left behind. What do you think of the Nanny's insights into Diana's life and the royal family? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more royal stories.
Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, is typically known for her poise and grace in the public eye, but a recent incident has left many shocked. In a rare and unexpected moment, Kate was seen being rushed away after a tense, on-camera situation took a sudden and unsettling turn. While the specifics of the meltdown remain unclear, the footage has sparked widespread concern, with many wondering what could have caused such an unusual reaction from the normally composed Duchess. This incident has left royal watchers stunned, raising questions about the pressures Kate faces behind the scenes.
She always leaves a little gift or something in their room when we go and stay, and that just shows, I think, her love for her family.
Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, is one of the most visible and admired members of the British royal family. Known for her elegance, composure, and unwavering dedication to royal duties, Kate has managed to maintain a steady and dignified public image. But even someone as seemingly unflappable as Kate isn't immune to the intense pressures of life in the spotlight.
We're looking forward to spending the rest of the times, the rest of our lives together, and seeing what the future holds.
In a rare moment that surprised many, Kate found herself at the center of an unexpected and unsettling incident that left her being rushed away in an unusually public manner. While Kate has always been known for handling public appearances with grace, this recent event has led to questions about the stress and challenges she faces behind closed doors.
Massively so. Of course, her and her family, I really want to make sure that they have the best sort of guidance and chance to see what life has been like, or what life is like in the family, and that's kind of almost why I have been waiting this long, as I wanted to give her a chance to see and to back out if she needed to.
The incident in question occurred during what was supposed to be a routine public engagement. As with many of Kate's appearances, the Duchess was on duty for a charitable cause, visiting an organization that focuses on early childhood development, a cause she has championed for years. The event was intended to be a positive and uplifting occasion, with Kate interacting with families and children as part of her ongoing work with the Royal Foundation's Early Years Initiative.
Before it all got too much, because I'm trying to learn from lessons done in the past, and I just wanted to give her the best chance to settle in and see what happens the other side.
And I'm also glad that I've had the time to to grow and understand myself more as well. So,
however, things took an unexpected turn when an on-camera situation reportedly became tense, leading to Kate being quickly ushered away from the event. While details of the specific circumstances remain unclear, reports suggest that Kate may have been overwhelmed by the situation, leading to what some witnesses described as a meltdown. Given her normally composed demeanor, this moment sparked widespread concern and media speculation.
well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to.
Royal watchers and fans were quick to point out that this kind of public reaction is highly unusual for the Duchess, who has faced years of intense scrutiny without showing signs of stress or discomfort in front of the cameras. This moment has brought renewed attention to the immense pressure Kate faces as a senior member of the royal family. Ever since marrying Prince William in 2011, Kate has been a constant presence in the public eye, taking on a growing number of responsibilities as the future Queen consort. Her every move, outfit, and interaction is scrutinized, and the expectations placed on her are enormous.